Life with Pauly. It is currently Thursday, March 26, 2026, and I'm back with a different kind of video today. If you've seen the beginning of the video, this series that I'm doing on my YouTube channel is called Family Divided Childhood Nightmare. And I want to say first off, if you've seen the beginning of the video, there is a trigger warning at the beginning of this video, and there will be a trigger warning, and that warning on every single video I do in this series. Now, I don't know how many videos I'm going to do in this series. We will find out. I'm only going to make these videos 15 to 20 minutes long. I don't want to make them any longer than that, because some people don't have an attention span for that, and also people got jobs, they got families to take care of. So I'm going to make these videos anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. Now, I want to say that if you are triggered by discussion of mental or physical abuse or any other kind of abuse, then these videos might not be for you. What are these videos going to consist of? Well, the videos are going to consist of my life story. I think it is time that I tell my life story. And I know what you're saying to yourself. Who is this guy? Who cares about his life story? You know, I got my own life story. I understand that. If this is not for you, if you don't want to hear about my life story, then there's lots of other videos on YouTube that you can watch and other things you can do. Okay? Let's just put that out there right off the bat. Now, my story, I'm going to start off from when I was born until now. I'm 52 years old now. Most of my family is gone. They have passed on. My dad died years ago at the age of 56 of cancer. My mom died in the year 2022 of cancer. One of my aunts, my mom's sister, she died at the age of 41 of cancer in the year 2000. My grandmother passed on from natural causes, older age, in 2006. Most of my family is gone, and I've decided to come on here on YouTube and tell my life story because I think it's very important. There is a lot of people out there that have divided families. Now, if you don't know what a divided family is, a divided family is basically a family that is divided by certain issues or certain beliefs, or because they got into an argument over something stupid. There's a lot of divided families out there because parents get divorced and things like that. There is also divided families because of domestic abuse, mental abuse, and any other kind of abuse. There is a lot of divided families out there. A divided family also can mean that you're estranged from some of your siblings, you're estranged from your parents, you're estranged from your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your grandmother, whatever the case may be. You're estranged from your children, some of your children. I've seen videos here on YouTube where there is a lot of people that are estranged from their children. I'm one of those people that are estranged from one sibling that I have. I have 3 brothers. I'm estranged from one of them. I do talk to 2 of them, and I do see one of them. I have 3 daughters. I'm estranged from one daughter, and I see the other 2, and they see me, and I talk to them, but I'm estranged from one of them. And I will give you that story in this series. Not only that, but I will start my life from when I was born, how I was fed lies and manipulated. Even when I was first born, I was fed lies and manipulated, of course, by my mom. Now, I want to say right off the bat that me and my mom, as when I was a child, we had a very good relationship, but she chose men that basically mentally and physically abused her and me and one of my brothers. And these men that she chose, I guess she didn't know they were like the way they were, but they ended up abusing me. They ended up abusing my mother and one of my brothers. and I want to tell my life story and what I've been through. Now, I want to say right off the bat that there's a lot of people out there that have worse stories than I have. There's a lot of people out there that have suffered more than I have. But I've went through a lot, from childhood until adulthood. Adulthood, I had some issues in my adulthood also. I'm going to explain that in this series and in my story. If you are a family divided or you want to share your story, you're more than welcome down in the comments section down below. Also, down below every single video that I'm going to be posting in this series is going to be helplines in case you're in a situation where you need help. There is going to be a hotline for National Domestic Abuse Hotline. That's going to be down in every description of videos I do in this series. I don't know how many videos there's going to be. Like I said, I'm going to make the videos 15-20 minutes long. This is just an introduction, so if you're interested in this kind of stuff and you are not subscribed to my channel, go down below, hit the subscribe button and the all notification bell to the right hand side, so you know when I upload part 2, and you can watch that. I'm going to start part 2 off with how I thought my father was deceased until I was 13 years old. And that was because of lies and manipulation that my mother told me. And I'm going to start that off in part 2, so you're not going to want to miss that. That's the start off to my life, okay? I actually thought my father was dead until I turned 13 years old, because this is what I was told. And I will explain that in part 2. But if you are one to get triggered easy by, discussion of mental, physical abuse, or you don't like to hear that kind of stuff, then, like I said, there's tons of other videos out there to watch on YouTube. You do not have to watch this series or my series on this topic. I want to say that if you're in a situation right now where you need help, like I said, every video is going to have the help numbers down in the description down below. It's going to have the national channel for children, missing and exploited children. That's going to be down below. Down below you will find a runaway hotline if you are in a situation, you are a kid or whatever the case may be that may have come across this video and you ran away from home because of issues at home, or you're being mentally, physically, or any other kind of abuse at home. I will also have the runaway hotline down in the description down below. I will also have the help number in case you get depressed and you feel like you want to do something to yourself. That helpline will also be down below in the description. Each and every video will have the warning at the beginning of the video, a trigger warning. I put that there because that's one of YouTube's suggestions, is to put that in front of every video that may be triggering to someone. I want to make sure that everybody understands that before I start this series. That's why I decided to make this introduction. Let me tell you something about mental and physical abuse or any other kind of abuse. If you are in one of those situations, you yourself do not deserve to be in that situation, and you need to get out of that situation as fast as you can. I'm going to tell you my life story and how I finally stood up to myself at the age of 16 against one of my physical abusers. Okay? I'm going to tell you what I went through childhood about being abused, beaten, about certain things. And if you don't like that kind of subject or it's triggering to you, then please do not watch these videos, because I'm going to tell my true life story. Now, I understand that there's a lot of people out there that have had worse lives than me. They're going through worse than me. They've been through worse than me. There's some families out there that have lost family members because of certain things that I will be talking about here on YouTube. But if you are in a situation right now, this still goes on to this day, of course. It went on when I was born in 1974, before 1974, and it still goes on today. There's a lot of people that go through the same thing that I went through or worse. But if you are in a situation where you're being mentally, physically, whatever kind of abuse, you need to take a stand and get out of that situation. Especially if you have kids. Kids are very vulnerable when they're younger. You yourself do not deserve to be abused, whether you're a wife, a husband, a kid, whatever the case may be, or if you're a parent, because there are some instances where kids can actually abuse their parents, be violent towards their parents. Okay? There is also help for that. Now, like I said, I'm going to place the helpline numbers down in every description of the videos that I do. I don't know how many videos I'm going to do. I will place the number to each helpline. But you can also call your local police department or your local social services department if you find yourself in a certain kind of situation. There are some women out there that get abused by men, and some men or some women that abuse men. If you are a man, a husband, girlfriend, boyfriend that are getting abused by your significant other, you do not deserve that. You need to get out of the situation because it could get worse and may get worse. It usually doesn't get any better. If you are a parent being abused or your child is violent, I would suggest that you reach out to someone for help, whether it be a therapist, a counselor at school, your local social services, your local police department, or one of the helplines down below. It is not fair to you to be put through situations like I'm about to explain in my own life story. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to your kids if you have kids. Kids see that. They see what's going on, how you're being mentally, physically abused, or whatever the case may be, and they take that all in. Okay? It can make them be sad, depression. It can make them think that it's okay to be doing those things. It is something that you should not put your kids through, and you yourself should not be going through. I know there's a lot of people out there that are estranged from their families, or part of their family, or certain people in their family, like their children, their mother, their father, their grandmother, their grandfather, because of all different kinds of reasons. Sometimes it's just because of divorce. Sometimes it's because of abuse. Sometimes it's because that person just has different beliefs. Your parents might have different beliefs than you have. You might be estranged from your own children because your own children have different beliefs than you, or something had happened in the past to make you guys estranged from each other. It happens, and it happens to this day. So, if you are interested in hearing my life story, now I know what you're saying, who is this guy? I don't care about his life story, whatever the case may be. If you're one of those people, plenty of other things to watch on TV, plenty of other things to watch on YouTube. Go watch them. You don't need to keep watching my videos. I really don't care. I'm just trying to get this out there, maybe connect to some people, give some people different ideas on what they can do and things like that, and really connect with people out there and show people that think they're alone, because there is a lot of people out there that think they're alone, and they're really not. There is a lot of people just like you. If you are a family divided, my family has been divided many, many times for many different things. Don't think you're alone if you're going through one of these situations. Okay? And like I said, I'm going to explain from my childhood until my adulthood. I'm 52 years old now. My family is gone. A lot of people don't like to come on social media or do videos about their family or what happened in their family or subjects like I'm about ready to talk to in this series, because they're afraid that their family members might come across the videos. They're afraid to get it out there. They're afraid to connect with others. They're afraid to get judgment. I'm not afraid to get judgment. I really don't care. You know, when I talk about the story about being estranged from one of my daughters, I'm going to explain why I think I'm estranged from one of my daughters. I have tried to mend things with her, and, but we're just estranged from each other. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I think we're estranged from each other. I really don't know, because she's never really told me why she don't like to speak to me or anything. A lot of people out there are probably saying, well, you did something wrong and you you made it this way, you know. Um, and sometimes that's not the truth. Sometimes that's not even the case. And I will explain that in my story and my series coming up on this YouTube channel. You will not want to miss it. Like I said, the second part is going to be about how I thought my father was deceased until I was 13 years old, because of lies my mother told me. Now, even though I was through a lot of lies with my mom and a lot of abuse, my mom didn't abuse me, but her men that she chose to abuse me, beat me, and did things to me that were just out of this world, okay? And they shouldn't have been done. And I'm going to explain that in my story, but what I wanted to say here is, even though my mom and me and my mom were estranged at one time. Me and my mom at one time didn't talk for 2 years. And then I made amends with her. In the end, though, I was there for my mother. The last 10 years of her life, I lived with her. I moved her with me. I will tell that story in another part of this series. I moved her with me basically because she was getting mugged in the city and town she lived in. So the last time she got mugged, I said, Mom, you're coming to live with me because where I live is safer for you. And she did. And I spent the last 10 years of her life she spent with me. I spent it with her. And I was even there to take care of her at her last breath when she was dying of cancer. I made that amends with her. And we became closer and more, spending more time together and did a lot of things together before she passed away and took her last breath. But that's what you got that's what you got to look forward to in this series coming here only on YouTube. Family Divided. This is the introduction, part 1, A Childhood Nightmare. Part 2, coming out in a couple days, so be ready for that if you would like to watch the series. Like I said, if you're triggered by talk of physical, mental, any other kind of abuse or anything like that, or just don't like to listen to life stories, that's fine. Go do something else. Go watch something else. A lot of people don't like podcasts. A lot of people don't like to sit there and watch somebody talk for hours. That's why I decided to split these videos up, 15-20 minutes long each video, and that's it. Also, I wanted to say that, I will be making a certain amount of videos. I don't know how many yet. We will see how long it goes and how long it gets, how long it takes me to get through everything that I'm about to say on this series. But please know that you're not alone when it comes to families being divided. And hopefully my videos will reach somebody out there. If you would like to tell your story or anything like that, I will always put my email down in the description down below. You can email me. If you would like me to mention your story on one of my videos and keep you anonymous, that is fine with me. Or you could just leave a comment down below on your story or things that happened to you or if you could relate to my story that I'm about to tell you, you can also leave that in the comments section down below. Be watching out for part 2. See you soon.